Hello guys, welcome to another video. So today we are doing a comparison between Monster Hunter Rise and Monster Hunter World. And yes, this is the Master Edition, which comes with Iceborne, which is the DLC expansion. So we are going to start with Rise before we go on to World. So, Rise is my entry into the Monster Hunter series, and frankly, when I got this game, I was hooked. The variety of monsters which came with this game, even before the updates, to me was amazing. Facing monsters such as Baroth, which is a massive rock monster which lives in mud. Bersarius, which is literally a rock monster. Bishatan, which is a monkey. Hate that thing with my life. And just say Ibushi, which is a new wind serpent. The variety was very good for me, and using the insect glaive, I was flying through the air, doing all of these amazing combos, just having a blast with this game, especially playing online with randos and with my friend Flynn, because playing Monster Hunter with Flynn was actually very fun. And I would say this game is definitely better with other people, especially when you beat all the quests. In terms of support, Monster Hunter Rise came out in March, and we've had a fair bit of support. We've had new monsters, including Teostra, Kushala Daora, and Crimson Glow Valstrax, which are all Elder Dragons. We've also had a new endgame boss, and I forgot they also added Chameleos, which hasn't been in a game for like 10 years, so that sent the fan base crazy. And right now we are getting weekly event quests, which give you new stickers which you can customize for chats. I don't use them personally. I normally just use free chat or pre-generated messages, or different gestures like crossing your arms or playing dead. With DLC, I've not purchased the whole thing. The only things I've purchased from them are the exclusive clothing and one of the character voice lines, because I was getting sick of the base character voice. In terms of gameplay, it's just fun. Some fights are ridiculously easy, but then of course other fights will challenge you. My biggest challenge, apart from Actosoma at the start, which I could not beat, stupid Firebird, was Rajang, which is a monkey, a very muscly gorilla monkey who has electricity powers. I got bodied by that guy for so long. Same with Crimson Glow Valstrax when he first came out. But then, of course, all of the veterans are like, this game's too easy. Well, we will be getting into World for that. And now people are now moaning about lack of content, which is annoying, because I think there's plenty of content with this game. I haven't even beat every quest yet, and I have over 200 hours in the game. Moving back on to combat and everything like that, there are many choices of weapons. I use Insect Glaive rarely now, and Longsword. I think I'm turning into a Longsword main, but there's everything from a switch axe to a bow gun to a bow. And long-range weapons can be effective, but I prefer to go in, hack and slash, put my life at risk, not just staying away from the monster, because it kind of negates the whole feel of Monster Hunter for me. The central hub, Kamura Village, is beautiful. It's definitely based on Japan. And everything about it from the characters, especially Fugen with his laugh, and Yomogi. She's a chef who makes dango, but in the rampages, she's a manacled bastard. She's so psychopathic, and I love it. But yes, the whole area is set in mountains. You got all of the traditional buildings, Japanese writing, and it's beautiful. And that also leads me onto the rampages. So rampages were introduced in Rise, and frankly they're like a tower defense kind of thing, and honestly they're really fun. There are a few mandatory rampages you have to do, I believe, such as the Apex Azeroth and Ibushi, but they aren't mandatory. But there was a new event quest literally today, which was a rampage which gives you a sticker pack, which I was kind of disappointed by. And yeah, Apexes were also added. I forgot to mention that when monsters were added in updates, they were just basically stronger versions which were added into the rampage. So we got ones like Apex Azeroth, Rathalos, Diablos, and Zinogre, and they are all based off older, extra strong monsters. Oh yeah, we also got Rathian, so they're based off, as I said, older monsters such as Bloodhelm for Azeroth, Dread Queen for Rathian, Dread King for Rathalos, Thunderlord for Zinogre, and Bloodbath for Diablos. And with one of the later updates, they added them into normal maps so you can fight them. And the hardest quest in the game is fighting three apexes at once on a new map, which appears to have blood water, which is kind of creepy. But the music and atmosphere is so dreary and just tense, and then you have to fight apexes, especially Zinogre, who's a pain in the arse as Apex. His normal form's fine. So yeah, my overall impressions of Rise, I keep on calling it World. Rise is this is a very good game, and I think it's a very solid entry into the Monster Hunter series, especially if you have the Switch. And of course, there's the new Switch coming out. Don't think I'll get it. I have to wait and see yet, but I'm quite happy with my red box. But if my Switch does break, then I'll pull the trigger. But yes, Rise is definitely worth your money, in my personal opinion. And historically, with Monster Hunter games, they always add something known as G rank, which is a massive challenge. So that's basically Iceborne for World. Yeah. So speaking of World, let's move on to World. So there's not too much I can say about World. Apart from that, I've not put too much time into it. I'd say about 10 hours, and I am nowhere near to beating the story. So firstly, the monsters in this game are way more of a threat. For example, Anjanath, who is a giant fire-breathing T-Rex, is a massive threat in this game, but in Rise, he's not. And let's just say the first 2 times I got bodied by him, but then I beat him and I was ecstatic. I beat him, fell off the cliff I was fighting him, and then I couldn't loot his body. Great, so I spent 40 minutes fighting this thing, but I didn't even get any materials to craft armor. But yes, so my first thing with World is that it has a lot more monsters, and I've already seen new ones such as Radoban, who is a giant spiky ball of death, and I was not expecting to have to face that thing, but I had to do it, and I officially performed my best dodge on the game. In gaming history. So I was facing the wrong way, turned around, he was rolling towards me at full speed. I dodged it just in time, and I would have died and lost the match if I hadn't dodged it. So I was sweating. But yeah, the amount of new monsters I've seen already, since I've not even made it to Iceborne yet, it's impressive. So I do understand where people are coming from when they say Rise doesn't have enough content. But, this is World, it is a PlayStation game, and it has been out longer. So people need I need to be patient. Gameplay wise, it's good. In Rise, they did introduce the wire bug system, so you can use wire bugs to move around and go into the air, also to help you climb walls and stuff. But unfortunately, with World, you just have to run. But one thing I do like about World is that you actually have to track the monsters. They aren't instantly there on the map, and the maps are a lot bigger. So the best way to track monsters is finding their footprints, and it can be pretty challenging at times, especially with Anjanath. How do you lose a giant T-Rex? Took me 12 minutes to find it. There's also the claw mechanic, where you can latch onto monsters to do damage, and you can also fire ammo shots at it and do flint shots, which I think is a cool mechanic. But me personally, I would prefer the wire bugs simply because of mobility and additional moves. So, the story so far, all I know is that you're travelling from the old world to the new world to do research. And that's when, of course, monsters interfere, and you have to take down monsters. I think they're primarily researching why elder dragons are coming to the island you're on. And when I encountered Zora Magnaros, who's basically a elder dragon as big as a mountain, No Gigante appeared and nearly one-shot me in one hit. But the objective, the objective was literally just to survive, because I'm nowhere near strong enough to take down No Gigante. But I will say the world quests, especially since they're more cutscene orientated and frankly more intense than Rise, because Rise is more toned down. World quests have more intense moments, especially with Nerd Gigante appearing and having to stop a mountain of an elder dragon. You also have a teammate who's known as the Handler, but I'm tempted to give her a name. So if you have any ideas for a name, let me know in the comments below. I was thinking Harmony as a tribute for my friend, or Piper, because I really like that name. And then, there's one thing I forgot to mention. Music in both of these games are really good, but Capcom have put more intense vocalization, like chanting and stuff, in the Rise, which is normally reserved for elder dragons and tough fights in the world. So wow, there's just so much I've said, I'm losing track. So, moving on to Iceborne. I haven't made it to Iceborne yet, but I know what awaits me. Shera Ishvelda, Fatalis, Safi'jiiva, Ruiner No Gigante. There are some huge battles ahead, and even with World, I still have to face Xeno'jiifa, who literally is a baby, but it's the most powerful thing in existence. But somehow another Xeno appears, and it turns into Safi'jiiva, which was a free DLC monster. There's also Behemoth from Final Fantasy, which I found out recently, which is apparently so hard you need 4 people to do it. I don't look forward to that fight. So I'm really looking forward to Iceborne. I'm glad there's a really difficult expansion coming my way. It also brings back some favourite monsters like Nargacuga and Tigrex, which are in Rise. And can't wait for Rise to come out with a monster DLC. So, which one do I think is better? That's the question. So, first of all, really depending on the platform, if you only have a Switch, get Rise, or a PlayStation 4, get World. But don't just get World, it's not worth it. It is a lot cheaper, but get the Master Edition, because you're getting so much more and so much more intense fights. If it is pre-owned, of course, you aren't going to get like the free cosmetic stuff. Like I don't care too much. And in terms of gameplay, If you're new to Monster Hunter, definitely start with Rise. It's a lot easier than World, but if you really want that challenge, I would say go for World, but I wouldn't say pass up on Monster Hunter Rise, because frankly it's really fun, and it's really fun to help new players, which I do most of my time when I play the game. Because now I've not even done any high rank stuff for over a month, because I'm always helping newbies. In my opinion, I love both of these games, but overall, right now, since I've put my time into Rise, I know what happens. I would have to go for World, because there's still so many monsters I haven't seen, so many dramatic moments which I haven't seen. Specifically looking forward to the Lunastra and Teostra fight, where you see Nergigante, but that's still a long way down the road, and World, is going to keep me occupied for a long time to come, especially since I've barely put any time into it. But yeah, the same could be seen for the Rise. I've put a lot of time into this game, and I still play it nearly every day. So don't pass up on Rise, and especially if you have a group of friends who have the game, or you can find good players online, you're set, and you can have an absolute blast. So yeah, hope you enjoyed my comparisons. Sorry for the delay in videos, I've not been feeling well, and yeah, bye.